Can you hear? This is the Sports Porch, Black and Gold, with your hosts, the technical director, the Grand Schwabini, and Hockey Jesus. Come on, Pittsburgh. Let's show a little Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates love. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now. Yes, it is. It's that time. It's time for the Sports Porch Black and Gold edition all over the world, live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. I am your technical director. Across from me in the studio is the Grand Schwabini. To my right in the studio, but below me on the screen, is Hockey Jesus, the world's biggest black and gold fan in this room, I must say. You can listen to us on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. And, of course, our YouTube channel is growing in leaps and bounds. You can subscribe at the Sports Porch Podcast. Click that notification button so you know when we are going live, which happens to be every Monday night right about this time right now.
It's the one thing you get right.
7:30 sharp.
Yeah, it's the one thing I get right. Yeah, I mean... Do I get anything right in your eyes?
Yeah. You get the time right. You're usually pretty punctual. 7:30 is.
Hey,
we're usually
clock
right
strikes
there.
12 twice a day.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. All right. So, of course, Black and Gold Sports. We're going to be talking about a lot of things tonight. Hockey Jesus has NHL playoffs on his mind. Of course, the Penguins are searching for a head coach still. The Flyers did hire a coach, so maybe we'll talk a little bit about that and the implications here since he's off the board. The Steelers, they had rookie camp. The schedule's out. There's a lot to talk about there. We can mess around with that a little bit. But look, the talk of the day right now, it's the Pirates. I mean, and I went on a rant last week and everybody seemed to enjoy it. And I've always got a good one in me. And I'm sure we're going to have another one here. But I'm calling this the lowest point in Pirates history, at least in my lifetime. This is ridiculous. They lost yesterday 1-0 to the Phillies. To the fucking Phillies with Paul Skenes on the mound. He pitched. What did he pitch? He pitched an 8-inning complete game, and they lost 1-0 to a rookie pitcher. And I used this video in our Philadelphia show, and I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to watch this right now because it's very it's very telling.
Great day to beat Mick Gables. He is making his major league debut, one of the coveted prospects for the Philadelphia Phillies. Swing and a miss. He got him with the curveball. His first big league strikeout. And yes, his family is here, and they are loving it. He has about 50 people that have come to watch him pitch.
Wow. Okay, just watch these strikeouts, guys.
Must be for them.
What a thrill for Dad.
He wasn't even looking at the ball.
Slider curveball down and in. And
it's a slider.
Whatever it is. Look, he's terrible.
Sliders are hard to hit.
He is absolutely horrific. There you go, Reynolds. Looking at a strike right down the middle.
The 0-2 pitch to Canario.
Who's this?
And a strike three called
don't even
on
know
the
who
outside corner. That's the first slider that he's gotten for a strikeout. Swing and a miss.
There you go.
Strikeouts.
Frazier.
Swing and a miss. He got him. He just struck out the side.
Yep, strikes out the side.
He's got 5 Ks through the first 2 innings.
Well, he looks fantastic.
Swing and a miss, 6 strikeouts.
Here's Cruz's second.
Swing and a miss.
Yep, look, there you go.
7 strikeouts for
Abel. Watch this.
And a strike 3 call on the outside corner with a curveball.
Strike 3.
8 strikeouts in his major league debut.
Strike 3.
He is climbing towards some rarefied air in Phillies history.
There it is. Now, how fitting is it?
And there you go. Strikes
out
call.
McCutcheon.
9 strikeouts in his major league debut. He joins Kurt Simmons for the high water mark in Phillies history.
Simmons, there it is. All right, so look, listen, guys, this is ridiculous.
Thanks for the mercy killing.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it anymore.
Swept.
Holy moly, it's so bad.
Swept by the Phillies, 8-4, 5-2, 1-0. They lost 2-3 to the Mets, 4-3, 2-1, 4-0. They lost 2-3 to the Braves, 3-2, 3-2, 4-3. They are on a streak of like 21 games. It could be more.
Less than four.
Where they've scored less than 4 runs.
Yeah.
you watch this kid, Mick Abel. Look, he, as Schwaber pointed out on our show that airs in Philadelphia, you know, he was drafted number 1.
It was a number 1 pick.
Okay, a couple years ago.
2020.
Okay, so last year didn't have a great year in the minors.
Right, bad year in AAA.
Yeah.
But had a good year. Off to a great start this year, so they brought him up.
Right, so they bring him up, and he makes these guys look like single-A players. I mean, that last strikeout that O'Neal Cruz was looking at the third strike.
He looked like he was almost smiling.
I know.
Right.
This is quite frankly the worst display of a baseball team, of an offense in the history of me watching baseball. And I've watched some pretty goddamn bad Orioles teams as well, of which they are not doing well. So, you know, let's just not go there. But I mean, is this the lowest point in Pirates history right now?
Oh yeah, I think we proved that like 3 weeks ago when we when we looked at the, you know, last championships and the 47-year drought that they're currently in is by far and away the longest.
Yeah. What do you think, Grant Schwabini? I mean, you're at heart, you're a Philadelphia Phillies fan, but you've been here 20 years, you know, and you really haven't. Look, I love how people talk about the 2013, 14, 15 year. Look, that's garbage. Those years were garbage too. Well, they were like, you know, they lightning in a bottle.
They won 90 games 3 years in a row.
Well, sure. Okay. So anyway, what do you think?
Well, you know, I mean, look, going into the game yesterday, you know, I had it pretty much penciled in as a Phillies loss.
Right.
You know, I thought, okay, Skenes is on the mound. We've already took 2 of 3. We got a rookie coming in. You know, look, he's had a good year this year. He's like got a 2.5 ERA in the minors, but last year he had an ERA like in the 6s. So I'm like, all right, this is the perfect scenario for the Pirates to actually score some runs and hit this guy around. And then I just realized, look, obviously the guy was pitched way better than I thought he would, but, you know, the Pirates certainly helped him quite a bit. I mean, there was a lot of, they had their bats sitting on their shoulders for a number of those strikeouts were like right down the middle.
I know,
you know, and
swing the bat.
Yeah, I mean, like if you think about a guy like O'Neal Cruz, who's probably one of their better offensive players, but I mean, come on, like, you know, you're going up against the guy making his major league debut, and you strike out all 3 times you face him.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a little ridiculous, right? I mean,
a lot of bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the first time you get struck out, but then you sort of get your timing down on his pitch, and you know you get a hit in the next one or two at bats. I mean,
or at least put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it was just bad. And then, you feel so bad for Skenes because it's like, what else can he do?
Yeah.
What else can he do? I mean, even though the Phillies got 1 run, they barely got that run.
Right.
I mean, they got that run because it was like an awkward hop to second base, and Brandon Marsh was fast enough to just beat out a double play ball.
Right.
You know, it's like they didn't really even earn a run in that game.
Right.
And you know, the other part, watching it from the other side, you know, usually when it's a 1-run game, you're always on edge. But I was actually kind of watching it, and I was like, I think this is over at 1-0. You know,
those games, especially,
you know, so, you know, and it's got to be really discouraging for him.
Oh,
you know,
for Skenes, absolutely.
Skenes. He's demoralized.
It's got to be really discouraging. And, you know, and so then, you know, obviously then what this leads to is everything that I was hearing this morning was, all right, let's trade him now.
Trade him now.
Yeah, trade him now. Like, let's, you know, like I heard one guy say, you know, let's get the Red Sox. They got the number 1 offensive prospect in baseball. They got the number 8 prospect who's a shortstop. They got, you know, their starting, you know, their opening day pitcher from last year. You know, like, let's put together a package and try to get this. And to be honest with you, I mean, I can't really argue with it because they're not going to do anything around Paul Skenes. You know, that's the thing. I mean, they're just not going to do anything. They had an opportunity to do something this year.
Yeah, I agree.
And they didn't do it. So what am I to believe that they're going to do it next year?
No.
And so if they're not going to do it next year, right? And Nutting is apparently he's on record basically saying, he's done everything he can to help the team.
Yeah, bullshit.
Which is bullshit. Yeah. But at the same time, he's basically saying, hey, the players got to do it on the field. What are you talking about, man? There's maybe half of a major league team on this team.
Yeah, if they're lucky. If they're lucky.
Well, and that Nutting's lying when in 2015, when they had that 98 win season, their payroll was like $97 million. It's less than that now. It's like $93 million now. So it's so clearly he's not doing everything he can do.
No.
And therein lies the problem, the biggest problem to overcome. As far as trading Skenes, I don't think Nutting would trade him, but you know what I think he would do? I think he'd sell him. Just get the highest bidder. You're gonna get you're gonna give me $100 million for him. Okay.
Yeah. And he could do that.
He would absolutely do that.
Yep.
But why do we need prospects when prospects have shown they come here to die?
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are the place where prospects come to die.
There you go.
So
Pat off track says trade the Liberty Bell for Skenes. Mike Lawrence.
How much is it worth, Pat?
Yeah, a lot.
Look that up.
It's worth a lot. I bet it's worth $100 million. The Liberty Bell.
If it's worth $100 million, I think we have a deal.
We can hang it in here. We can hang it down in the courthouse.
Down in the courthouse.
Down in the courthouse.
Yeah.
But
as you guys and I have said before, the Pirates can't hit, especially with men on. Thank you for being back here, Mike.
Yeah, but just to sum it up, I mean, it's like when you have a losing team like they are, it's like they find ways to lose games. Yesterday it was Paul Skenes pitched almost as perfect as you can, and they found a way to lose it. The game before, I believe they had a 3-1 lead, and they walked in the bases loaded to take a 4-3 deficit. Right. They walked in 3 guys in a row.
Right.
on a team that's known to swing at everything.
Right. Swing too much.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of it's just. I mean, if I was a Pirates fan, my head would just be exploding. I couldn't even watch it.
You hear heads exploding when you're driving on the Parkway all the time. when the Pirates
I hear them in my
radio.
backyard.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's insane. And it seems so simple to me. It seems really simple to me. You look at a guy like O'Neal Cruz. Think back to those 3 strikeouts we just watched. Think back to what I've been saying about this guy for the last 3 years. Right. His swing is too long. It's way too long. Look, I'm not a hitting coach. Okay. I played Little League baseball, a little bit of high school ball, not a lot, and a little bit of Legion ball, and I enjoyed it. My dad was a big college baseball player, but look, we've all watched enough baseball to know when somebody has a swing that is way off base. Where is the hitting coach? I guarantee you, if O'Neal Cruz shortened his swing a little bit, he'd be able to come around on those pitches. And because his swing is so long, he's stuck. And he's the only guy in that team that I think does have potential for everybody who thinks that I bang on him all the time, because I do. But right now he sucks. I don't care what anybody says. He fucking sucks. Period.
Well, I mean,
somebody's got to teach him how to swing a bat.
Well, here's the thing. You're kind of part right. He's got a long swing because that's how he generates his power.
Right.
However,
hit home runs.
However, when you have 2 strikes on you, you tighten it up.
Right.
And he has no ability to do that at all.
No.
Yeah, and he doesn't even want to try.
Right.
No.
Either he doesn't want to try. Either he doesn't want to try, or nobody's ever said anything.
Yeah. And the other thing about this guy, and a lot of people are really beating the shit out of the Pirates broadcasters right now. And I
think
feel
about how hard it is to be them.
Poor Greg Brown.
I feel bad for those guys. Yeah. I feel bad.
I do feel bad for them.
I feel bad for those guys. But look, they made their bed. They're paid paid by the Pirates organization.
Oh yeah.
So they have to do this. But somebody made a really great point, and then it kind of circled the social media channels. It's like, how many times are they going to talk about exit velocity? I don't care if the ball's hit 20 miles an hour. If it goes over the fence, it's a home run. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, this is the kind of shit that we're drumming up to try to make us feel good about the Pirates. And their offense is, it's worse than atrocious. It's horrible. And let me talk about this managerial hiring, this Donnie Kelly.
Oh, God.
Oh, listen. Okay, he owns a Jimmy John's in Wexford.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he owns.
Have you been?
No, but he owns a Jimmy John's in Wexford. I've been to Jimmy John's, just not that one.
Yeah.
He's supposedly, a great neighborhood guy.
I'm a Jersey Mike's guy, by the way.
Yeah, I'm more of a Jersey Mike's.
I prefer
guy.
Jersey Mike's to
that's because we ate cheesesteaks like crazy in Philly back in the day. But
it's just fresher ingredients.
Yeah.
How do you know it's fresher?
Well, because they slice it right in front of you.
Yeah, you can see it. It's in the taste.
But you can see it. It doesn't matter. This isn't a commercial
side by side in front of me. I would be able to.
Okay, well, let's have a. You know what? We should have a taste off. Yeah, we'll have a taste off for that.
Sounds good.
The point I'm trying to make is Pittsburgh loves a feel good story more than they love a winner right now, because that's all they can do. Donnie Kelly is a Pittsburgh guy. He's a neighborhood guy. He's a great guy. He's he owns a business here. He takes care of people, takes care of his family. Where do you go to high school? Somewhere around here. I don't even know, because I don't fucking care. I don't care. I want a manager. I want a manager who can manage a baseball team, and I want a baseball team that can fucking play baseball and give the best pitcher in the major leagues 2 fucking runs. 2 runs. If they had scored 2 runs yesterday, Paul Skenes would now be 4-5. Or I'm sorry, 4-4.
4-4.
4-4. Okay. He's pitched 10 games this year. He started all 10. He has 7 quality starts. Isn't a quality start? I don't know what the stat
7 out of 8.
6 innings.
You go 6 innings.
6 innings and less than 3 runs, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That wasn't my point. My point is, I'd like to see the metrics on how many times a quality start lands the starting pitcher a win.
Well, in Pittsburgh, it's probably like 2.
Right. It's 20%.
It should be a lot.
It should be.
Right. Yeah, it should be.
It should be 60%.
Right.
Because you don't know what the bullpen's going to do. Right.
Right.
Okay. So it's not for him. He's 3-5 with 7 quality starts. He's pitched 62 innings. He's got 62 Ks. And people have the balls to say, he's not as good as he was last year. Why? Because he doesn't have 90 Ks. If he had 90 Ks by now, he'd still be 3-5. Hell, he'd probably be 2-6. His ERA is 2.44. He's only got 16 walks. He's given up 17 earned runs and 43 hits in 62 innings. This guy, and I was the one that said, we got to wait. We got to wait. We got to give him a little bit more time, because it's year 2.
Well, it's been a full year. But
it's been a full year now, and the Phillies have one hell of a lineup. All right. And he held them to 1 fucking run.
Yeah.
Could we please stop talking about Donnie Kelly? God bless you, Donnie. I don't want your autograph, and I don't expect you to like me, but I'm sure you're a great guy. Positive of that. But find a goddamn manager, find a fucking player, or my next point is exactly what we were talking about. For God's sake, trade Paul Skenes for his sake. Okay? For his sake. All right, because look, it doesn't matter. He could pitch shutouts for the rest of the year. You're still not going to pack PNC Park anymore. People don't want to see that anymore.
No, you will not pack PNC Park to do that.
They're done with the Paul Skenes phenomena. It's almost like it
didn't last very long, to be honest.
No, because they're embarrassed. You're embarrassed for the guy. You want to go down there and watch that guy throw 7 hard innings and watch the Pirates maybe eke out a run and lose the game?
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. This is beyond ridiculous. Nutting needs to get the fuck out of town. That's what he needs to do. Well, he needs to go.
You mentioned that the Pittsburgh fans love a feel-good story.
Of course they do.
What would be a better feel-good story than to get rid of Nutting?
Nothing.
That would be a great.
Nothing could be better.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, it just so happens I have the plan to do that.
Oh, Do share.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Whew, please. I need to take a breath.
Whew, yeah. Well, you take a breath while I tell you how we're going to get nutting the fuck out of here.
Does this involve our GoFundMe account? Do you have a surprise for us? Do we have like $1 billion?
No.
Okay.
Damn.
This actually involves strategy and thinking.
Oh, okay.
So I look at it this way. The Pirates have 5 years to get rid of Nutting, right? Either he's going to walk because he's not going to sign a lease at PNC Park, or he's going to find a better deal somewhere else. Major League Baseball does want to expand. It's a guarantee they're going to expand by 2 teams in the next X amount of years. I'm saying in the next 5 years.
Right.
Okay, so this is how the Pittsburgh Pirates do it. They start negotiating a new contract with Nutting now on PNC Park, and they put in their stipulations for some kind of salary. It's got to be average salary plus or minus 10% or something like that. If it's not spent at the average salary, anything spent below it would be payable directly to the city of Pittsburgh. Let's just give something to the city for negotiating, right? The bottom line is Nutting's not going to sign that. He's going to be, that'll put me in an unfair competition, blah, 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 blah. He'll cry poor somehow.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. So when he does that, the city of Pittsburgh immediately goes to Major League Baseball and they go to the expansion committee and they say, we want a new team. Okay. So they go directly to the Major League Baseball expansion committee and say, this guy's not going to sign. He's moving the team. We want the other one. So basically, at that point, you have to negotiate whether you're still the Pirates, whether he takes the name or you can keep it. Ideally, you could negotiate something so you can keep all the records here in Pittsburgh. But honestly, wouldn't it be better if some other fucking city had this headache and not us?
Yes.
And we can start from scratch?
Yes.
That would be 100 times better than the bullshit we're dealing with right now.
Yes.
Can they do that, though?
It's never been done, but why can't you do it?
I don't know.
It's absolutely what you need to do because this guy is a fucking moron.
Yeah.
He's got the city held hostage. Everybody's deathly afraid. Oh, no, don't leave. That's such bullshit. Yeah. Don't be afraid of this guy. Run him the fuck out of town and bring in a new team. Yeah. Talk to the Major League Baseball right now. Hey, tomorrow's an election day. Elect people who will actually fucking do this. How about that?
Ooh.
So go to the polls tomorrow.
Who are those people?
Yeah, who are those people?
Well, it's going to be the mayor. The mayor is going to have a big poll in it. The mayor's up tomorrow. You can change who's going to be the mayor tomorrow. And I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I'm just saying elect people who will be shrewd and will negotiate and get our Pirates back. Because that's what you want. That's what I want. I want our Pirates back in Pittsburgh. I'd love to keep all the statistics and all the history, but if that's got to go to bring somebody else in, that's what you do.
Okay, there you go.
Is there something wrong with that plan? I think it's a good plan.
No, because the biggest problem is that we're stuck. That's the biggest problem.
Make him somebody else's headache. Go ahead. Move. Please leave. I want you to leave.
This guy's walking around town with a smirk on his face, pocketing all this money, and he really doesn't give a shit what the fans feel.
And then if he stays and he's going to be willing to spend, then we'll have a team back in our beautiful park.
Yeah, but it's not a beautiful park.
You know what? I looked up your statistics on whether the Orioles pull better when they're sucky.
I was probably wrong.
You were partially right and partially wrong with the Orioles, but you were spot on with the Cubs. The Cubs, they get people to show up no matter what.
Yeah,
they actually had pretty good records lately.
In the last couple of years.
I looked at the last 10 years.
Yeah,
there was 1 year where the Pittsburgh Pirates actually pulled better than the Orioles with a small amount of wins, like 60 wins or 52 wins or some shit like that.
Right.
And but other than that, your rant last week was spot on.
There you go.
Other than that,
there you go.
And the more I thought about
needs to be power washed.
No, it just needs to be fact checked.
And I think he's talking about the ballpark.
I was talking ballpark.
The ballpark.
No. Nutting wants a $1 billion upgrade.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Are you
$1 billion upgrade? You don't want to play a single player, but you want a $1 billion upgrade to the park.
Yeah. How can if it's already the best ballpark in America, why does it need $1 billion upgrade?
Right.
That would be my response.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what the $1 billion upgrade should be is a fucking product on the field that wins, and then you'll get 1 billion more fucking fans in there, and then you'll make more money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. I mean, what planet does this guy live on?
Well, and if you look, and I did look at the attendance rates, it was phenomenal the year after they had those 90, what did I say, 92 wins?
90 wins, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One year was 98.
It was an all-time record in attendance. You know why? Because people love a winner.
Yeah.
They want to go. And actually, the Pirates, when they win 60, 70 games, they pull okay.
Right.
But if you could get to 80, 90 wins consistently, this team would be a winner.
Yeah.
You would easily average 25,000 there every night on average.
You would. This town is dying to have a good baseball team.
But it's not going to happen when the Pirates team batting average is 217.
I mean, that's
and 28th in the league. Thank you, Mike Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about Paul Skenes, you know, if you talk about, you know, what the Grand Schwabini was saying, do you have faith that they're going to do anything? And the answer is no, I have no faith. They could do something, but, you know, and I love, you know, they fired Shelty. Everybody's like, well, see, no, it wasn't really Shelty's fault. Well, no, but he wasn't really a good manager either. Yeah.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't get rid of the garbage.
Right. Anyway. And Kelly coming in, it's the same team. Okay. So, you know, he's the guy I would actually feel bad for, is because, like, congratulations, you're now the manager of the worst baseball team Pittsburgh has probably ever seen. Right. And, you know, good luck. Oh, and by the way, you also have one of the best pitchers in the major leagues in your lineup. Oh, and now Jared Jones is going to get, you know, Tommy John surgery.
Oh, yeah. We knew that. We said that at the
we
beginning
did say
of the
that
season.
at the beginning of the season.
Like, he's going to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
The second opinion was already gone.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We said that. That's exactly what we said. Yeah. So that's why you should come here and listen to us and watch, because we give it to you straight. We're not paid shills. We don't get any money from anybody. We give our opinions. We read the tea leaves, and we're usually right. I mean, we can be wrong. I mean, Grant Schwabini is right more than anybody else.
I'm usually right.
Yeah,
right.
when it comes to prediction, the Grant Schwabini is
that's okay.
The king.
I take issue with I am not. I think I'm just a lot more passionate, and I tend to overstep my bounds at times, which gets me into trouble.
Okay, Skip Bayless.
There you go.
The only speed bump, is in my plan is, I think it's in 2027. The collective bargaining agreement's up, so there could be a work stoppage associated with that, or maybe even I don't think they'll go for the salary cap. I don't see that happening.
I'm telling you, they got to put a salary cap in Major League.
I just don't. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody really wants it. I don't see how it's going to happen.
That's the thing. How can you cut it off when it's already at the point that guys are making like $800 million?
They've got to do, and you know what
I mean. All the other union brothers would say, sorry, you're going to take less now.
They got to do something about that.
That's what happens.
Yes, they got to do something about that.
Negotiating.
The greed that has become professional sports is beyond me. Greed has overcome winning, period. Greed on the ownership level, greed on the player level, greed on the merchandise level, greed on the TV rights level. The greed has ruined most sports. And it happens.
Didn't Gordon Gekko once say greed is good?
He did.
Greed is good.
That was my favorite movie. So, but this is the way it's going to be, guys. This is the way it's going to be. We're going to be talking about this. I honestly, you know, if you trade Paul Skenes, you're only doing it for his sake.
Don't trade him.
You know,
sell him for money.
Whatever. Give him give this kid the opportunity to go earn what he has worked so hard for.
He doesn't fit my 5-year plan, by the way.
Right. Good. And what he has earned is he has earned the right to play for a winning team. He's earned that right. And to his credit,
he hasn't really earned it, but he got screwed when the Pirates picked him.
Well,
let's face it.
Well, right. He's earned the right to play for a team that wants to be competitive. How about that? Does that sound better?
He's earned the right to be on the cover of Gucci because of his girlfriend.
I know everybody talks about that.
Hey, hey, you earned that. Yeah. That has been earned.
And bottom line, I mean, let's be real here. she's out of his league. I don't care.
He needs to start bringing in the box.
I don't care if he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's got an acne problem.
Yeah. Well,
oh no, she's going to clear that up. Don't you worry. She's got some product.
It's been a year. He's not looking good. He's got a beard now to try to hide it, but I see it.
It would be great if he did buy some product and it happened to have some banned substance in it and he got banned for a year.
Oh God. Yeah, that would just.
I'm not saying to do that, Paul Skenes.
That'd be the cherry on top.
I'm not saying to do that, Paul Skenes, but if you needed a year out.
Listen, I'm not gonna make any comments about what Paul Skenes looks like because he's got a hell of an arm and he's got a beautiful girlfriend.
Yes, he does.
He deserves something. He works hard at his craft. He's very good at it. He deserves better.
And I want to apologize directly to Paul Skenes. I did not mean to in any way body shame you.
There you go. That's good.
Because God knows.
Right. Yeah. But, to be honest, it would be fantastic if Paul was actually watching.
Yeah.
Because if you're watching, Paul, come on the show and just give it right back to me. Because I've accomplished nothing compared to you.
Yeah.
In my life.
I mean, seriously.
I don't know. You're on the show.
Well, I am on the show.
He's not.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
He could tie you that way.
I do have a TV personality. I mean, I'm in the biz.
You All right. So what do you guys think? I mean, I think I know what all you guys think. So, we're going to keep reporting on it. Can it get any worse? I mean, what shoe's going to drop this week?
I don't know. I mean, right now they're trending to like 112 losses.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
Fantastic. Gives us
pretty bad.
More to talk about. Okay, the Sports Porch Black and Gold. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast, and you can listen to our podcast right after the show. I drop it right after show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. Let's move on here. Let's move on to the Steelers.
They have a quarterback yet?
Yeah, they still got Mason Rudolph.
Yes, they do have.
Skylar Thompson.
And Skylar Thompson.
ST.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys make of the I love the NFL for this. It's sometimes it's so obvious.
But the schedule stuff?
What do you make of the Steelers playing the Jets the first game?
Well, they're hoping that Rodgers is part of the team.
Well, I mean, is that the NFL hoping, or does the NFL know something we don't?
No, I think it's a win anyway because now you got Justin Fields playing against the Steelers.
Right.
So either way, it works out for the NFL.
Yeah, true.
The NFL is always in a win-win situation. Just don't ever forget that.
Yeah, that is true.
Keep in mind, the NFL is so good that people will watch the Browns versus the Jets on Thursday Night Football when they're both 2-10.
That is true.
That's true.
We
will.
True.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a snow globe game. You never know.
Right.
But let's. But
yeah, that's why they did it in week 1 because hey, if it's Rodgers versus Fields on the opposite sides of things, that's great. If it's just Fields, it's still a story.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really a story?
Yeah, because it's clear the Steelers did want to sign him, and he went to the Jets because he figured it was a better situation.
Sure, but that's telling right there.
Right.
But the thing about it is, like, Justin Fields never lit anything up. Well, his career has been nothing short of mediocre in the NFL.
His running's phenomenal.
He's
broken records running the ball.
He's had moments.
Yeah, but so did Anthony Chickillo. He had moments.
No, not quite like Justin Fields moments.
Not like Justin Fields, and he wasn't a number 1 pick.
I just wanted to get Chickillo.
Chickillo.
Yeah, Chickillo.
Chickillo's back, baby.
Chickillo update.
We do miss Chickillo.
He retired. Yeah. I think he retired.
He's retired now. Maybe he'll come on the show.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. I don't know why. We have nothing to talk about.
If anybody out there in our listening audience has Chickillo's contact information, please send it our way. We'd love to get him on the show.
Put it in the stream.
Yeah, there you go. So, but that's the thing I'm saying is this. Like, if I'm the NFL and there's no Aaron Rodgers, he's retired. Okay. And we have this situation. I don't know that the Jets Steelers is really like the story just because of Justin Fields.
It's already not the story.
It's not a Monday night game.
It's one story.
I know.
It's not a Thursday night game.
I know.
It's just a game in the afternoon.
I guess what I'm getting at is I think the NFL knows more. I know everybody is sick and tired of the Aaron Rodgers thing. Did you see all the pictures online where they're putting they're photoshopping in Aaron Rodgers at like a local ice cream shop and a giant eagle?
No, that's
Did you see all that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they're like it looks like Aaron Rodgers is signing. Here he is, a giant eagle buying some Isley's chipped ham.
right.
I'm gonna get Max to Photoshop him down at Page's.
Page's Dairy Mart.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you should
maybe in line at getting beer. Over
No. I got a great idea. This is actually a really great idea.
I'm writing
and
it
Max
down.
Should do this.
Well, he's got to do it before Thursday. He's leaving the country.
He should Photoshop. Why is he being deported?
That's none of your business.
He should Photoshop Aaron Rodgers sitting at this desk signing his Pittsburgh Steelers contract.
Yeah. That would be good. I'll get a picture before we go.
With some ham off the bone over here.
Yeah, with some ham off the bone.
And maybe a Trader Joe's sign in the background.
No. Trader Joe's isn't Pittsburgh. No. It should be like with like some pierogies.
Or maybe an Iron City.
A permani sandwich.
Yeah. And an Iron City.
Have him sitting in this seat with the three of us. and we're like, yeah. And Aaron's, he's got to do that.
You know what? I don't have to have him do it. I can just have ChatGPT do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. Just, we'll take a picture of the studio. Anyway, I personally think that the NFL knows more because there's no way that these teams don't talk. There's no way. I mean, I think he's coming. I know earlier on I said he's retiring, but I don't believe that. I think he's coming, and they know that.
Well, I think you're right that the NFL does absolutely know more than we do.
Looks like a winner tonight.
Can you take her with you so she doesn't eat us? All right, Ed.
We almost lost a diva.
We did. We almost lost a diva. Okay, couple comments.
We would have saved you, Lauren. Don't worry.
Thank you, sweetheart. We love you. A couple comments before we get to snack time. You guys need to Photoshop him with tech director at Trader Joe's. Thanks, Mike. Looking forward to you guys whining about the Bills schedule. Not going to happen.
Not this week.
Greed is neither good nor bad. Greed is greed, and most advertising is based on it.
Pat, I thought that was
back
sex.
Off track.
I thought that was sex.
Really?
Advertising is sex.
Yes, sex sells.
Sex sells,
Sex does sell. And speaking of sex and selling, it is time for
what? That was a terrible.
Terrible lead in there.
Good try. There.
Speaking of advertising and selling, even though this isn't actual,
there you
go. It is.
Taste the biscuit.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Taste
that honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with that honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me.
I don't like the
way it tastes with my chicken wings.
Everybody knows what that song means. That song means that, yes, it is Trader Joe's snack time.
My belly.
I do work down at Trader Joe's in East Liberty in the city of Pittsburgh. It's a great place to work. I love it there. And we did get permission to do this, but they don't pay us. So this is not a paid sponsorship. What do I do? Every week I bring home a Trader Joe's product and we try it. We give you our honest opinion.
Almost every week.
And it is almost always made by my lovely wife, the Pittsburgh Property Diva. And you can find her at pittsburghpropertydiva.com, the best damn real estate agent in all of Western Pennsylvania.
No, that's true.
Pat says sex is a subset of greed. Wow, we're really getting in the weeds here, Pat. This week, our Trader Joe's product is something that I enjoy. I've actually had it, and I do enjoy it. It is called Beef Birria. Beef Birria. Let me put.
What's that mean?
How do you spell Birria?
I'm going to show you right now. It is right here. There it is.
Slow cooked beef and a savory tomato and chili sauce.
Yes.
Get out of here!
And is this a snack?
Get out of town!
And as
are you sure this is a snack?
Well, it can be a snack. It can be in tacos. It can be in whatever you want. Now the property diva has actually prepared.
Can you drink it like a soup?
She has prepared. Now it's meat in a sauce. She has prepared.
All these are mine?
Yeah.
Oh man, look at you. That looks good.
She's expecting you to eat it all, so I guess.
Of course we'll eat it all. Thank you, TD.
All right, you're welcome. So
here, let me show the folks at home. Get that beef burrito off there.
Yep, Trader Joe's beef burrito, slow cooked beef in a
dessert.
savory tomato and chili.
It looks kind of like the picture. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
No, I don't.
Yeah, they're on the floor.
Oh shit!
Sassy was licking them.
Was she?
No, she wasn't. I made that up.
Thank you.
They fell on. They were on top of the napkins.
Is there only 2?
No, I think there were 3. Was there one inside of your napkin?
No.
Well, let's see what's going on here with this beef burrito. I have to tell you, it looks really fatty, which is got to be good.
Okay, we may have a winner here, folks.
I don't like fat meat, but the meat that's not fat is good.
This is actually excellent.
All right.
This is like an Italian roast beef. Have you ever had that?
Yeah.
It's almost exactly like this.
Yeah.
Now I think this
but the
is more
sauce
of a,
actually might be better than Italian roast.
This is more of a Mexican.
It's got a little spice to it. I can taste the spice after that first bite.
Yep.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, this is pretty good.
I like that. Now, what I will say is that I'm pretty sure this bread is also some Trader Joe's Tuscan Pain, which is my favorite Trader Joe's bread.
Nah, I'm a sourdough guy.
Our sourdough is really good too.
Yeah.
Sourdough's not that great at Trader Joe's.
Uh-oh. No. Sorry, Trader Joe's.
Sorry, Trader Joe's.
Well, there's a couple versions of the sourdough. Maybe you got a bad one.
He got the kosher one. Amy, which sourdough? Put it in the notes there, Amy. Which sourdough you buy from Trader Joe's? Let's see. Yeah, the sauce is really good with that Trader Joe's bread too.
So it looks like we got a winner.
That's a 2 thumbs up, 100%. Go out and get it, people. That's a winner.
I'll give it a 2 thumbs up.
And you know what? That's an easy make. You put it in the microwave. You can eat that for dinner.
Yeah.
When you don't want to cook nothing.
Well, and you can add it to things. You can add it to soft tacos. You can add it to.
You can eat it by itself.
You can eat it by itself.
Just get some of this.
There's lots of options.
There is lots of options. Yep.
I think with or without the fat, it's excellent.
Okay. Beef burrito, 2 thumbs up. Absolutely. There you have it. Trader Joe's snack time.
Are we going to get to talking about hockey?
Yeah.
I'm getting the shakes over here.
Yeah.
There's no hockey tonight, so it's like I don't even know what the hell.
So we got you for the whole night. You want to smoke a stogie after the show?
No. I'm actually going to sleep tonight.
Oh, you got to. All right. Well, I'm going to smoke a stogie after the show. Anything more on the Steelers right now? I mean,
there's no sense going over the schedule.
No, we'll do that. We'll do that a couple shows.
I think it will be fun that they're going over to Ireland to play in the 3rd week against the Vikings. You know, the Vikings are going over for the Ireland game, and then they're staying to play a game in London the next week.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually. That'd be a good perk if you were a Minnesota Viking. You get to go to Ireland, then you get to go to London on your week off.
Yeah, but
and when they come back, they have their week off, and I think that's unfortunate for the Steelers, though. The one thing I do want to say is, after that game is their bye, so their bye's early this week or this year, and that's not good that's not good for anybody. You don't want to have your bye in week 5.
Although the Eagles did last year,
did they?
Yeah.
And it worked out well.
It worked out really well. They came back after the bye and only lost 1 game the whole rest of the way.
Speaking about,
that's true. They were garbage their first 5 games.
Speaking about what you just said about a good
mediocre,
it's a good deal for them to go to like Dublin and then London.
Yeah,
I think the rules are pretty strict for those guys over there. So
I'm sure
maybe they take a little tourist trip, with the team or something. But I don't think they get to actually. No, they're not supposed to actually experience.
No, I'm sure the NFL has all kinds of things they want the superstars to do for them. You go to certain places and get your pictures and videos with other people. Yeah, for sure. I get that, but still, you're in London. I mean, London's got to be better than being in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Sorry to our St. Paul.
No offense to St. Paul, and especially to you, Brad Tremblay.
Right. I got to remember the fans. Yeah. Okay. So let's do a little Hockey Jesus here.
Thank you. I never thought we'd get around to it.
Yeah, we're going to move on here to Hockey Jesus, who preaches on the podcast after every single Pens regular season game and throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. You can follow Hockey Jesus at the Sports Porch Podcast on YouTube, and you can also listen to his sermons as well on our podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcast. Yoho Son, of course, chimes in right away. The Hurricanes.
Hey, why not?
Take it away, HJ. Did you do one today, or were you getting ready to do one today?
No, I didn't want to do one today because I'm going to give my update here for all my fans. So I told them to come here because I was gonna do it here because just a preview before I get to this. For at the end of every game in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Final and Stanley Cup Finals, I will be giving analysis after every single game. So that means I've got at least 8 nights in a row coming up, potentially 14 nights in a row.
Wow.
So I got my work cut out for me, but I tell you what, there's a lot of good material here. Florida did finally beat Toronto in a Game 7. Game 6 was actually quite fun, but Game 7, just ridiculous. How can you be the Toronto Maple Leafs? How can you be a Toronto Maple Leafs fans? Explain this to me, Toronto Maple Leafs fans. How can you be a fan for so long and stick with this team?
Yeah, like a record losses in Game 7s, like 7 in a row, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
It's so bad. No, well. They're bad. Let's put it this way. They're so bad. I saw a statistic. I have to share this, and my apologies to Pat on off track ahead of time. Since 2004, 2005, we're going back a ways, right? 21 years, 22, 20 years. The Buffalo Sabres have 4 series wins. The Toronto Maple Leafs only have 2.
Wow.
It's pretty bad.
So, I mean, I think that's all you need to say. Buffalo hasn't been in the playoffs in 14 years.
Wow.
That's how bad it is for Toronto right now. And they're going to have to blow up that team, but I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to waste all my air on them. Right now, in the conference finals, we have the Edmonton Oilers playing against the Dallas Stars. As everybody knows, the Oilers were in it last year. Actually, this is a rematch of last year's Western Conference Final. I'm not going to predict what's going to happen because that is definitely the game to watch. The one thing I'm thrilled about is the fact that the NHL is making all the games start at 8:00. So there no longer be late games. They'll all be late games.
That helps you.
Well, I mean, they're not starting at 9:30, which is good. And then Carolina's playing Florida, like I said, because Florida took out Toronto. This is three times in a row that Florida's made the Eastern Conference Final.
You're right.
If they make the finals, they'll be only the 9th franchise in NHL history to make it 3 times in a row. And those teams are Montreal in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Of course, the Islanders in the 80s. Toronto in the 30s, 40s, and 60s. Detroit in the 40s and 50s. So we're going way back for all this. But the only recent, and also the Flyers, believe it or not, in the 70s. They did it 3 in a row, won 2 of them in a back-to-back. And Tampa Bay Lightning just recently did it 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So this will make, if they make it, that'll be 6 times in a row a Florida team will be in the Stanley Cup Finals, which is pretty ridiculous because you never think of hockey in Florida.
Yeah, I hate these warm weather hockey teams doing so well over these years.
Yeah, it is a little annoying, especially and no offense to Carolina, but they're the team that I hate the worst, only because it's the way they play. They're worthy of being in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is the second time in 3 years that they've been in the finals, and the last time they actually beat Florida back in 2023 to make it to the finals. So maybe that's a little bit of luck for you, Carolina Hurricanes fans. I think this is going to be a great series. Unfortunately, I think the Carolina-Florida series is going to be more like a bunch of 2-1, 3-2 games. Right. And I honestly, I don't know. I really think Dallas can take the Oilers, but here's the deal. If the Oilers make it, I think they win the whole thing. You know why? Because I think there's always this weirdness that happens with hockey this would be the weirdness for Connor McDavid winning his first cup. It'll be the same, almost the same exact way Sid won his cup. He lost to the same team in the finals the first time. They played him the second time, and they beat him. So I have news for you. I'm giving Connor McDavid some advice. If you do win the Western Conference Finals, you have to touch the trophy. Because Sid didn't touch the trophy the first time, and you didn't touch the trophy the first time. Sid touched it the second time, and he won. So, Connor McDavid, I'm getting ahead of myself. If you actually can beat the Dallas Stars, which is going to be tough, touch the damn trophy. And that's my update, HJ.
That's it.
Yep.
Did you just call me HJ?
Well, so who do you got?
That's the update from HJ.
With the Final Four, what is your prediction for the Cup Finals and the winner?
So who I'm rooting for is Dallas against Florida. That's who I'm rooting for. And I'm rooting for Dallas to win the whole thing.
Well,
who do I think's going to win?
Think's going to win?
I think that I think the Oilers are going to play against Carolina, and the Oilers are going to beat Carolina in 5 or 6 games. That's my prediction.
Interesting.
There you go. There you have it. Hockey Jesus giving his NHL prediction. Pat Donovan, Pat off track. I've been to more NHL games in Florida and North Carolina than Buffalo. I feel shame.
You should feel shame.
Do they even play hockey in Buffalo anymore?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is there arena in Buffalo? Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Sports Porch Podcast and listen to the podcast. I'm going to drop it right after the show. Anywhere you get your freaking podcasts. Every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we are live on YouTube and X, and right now on Facebook. Hit the subscribe button, click notifications. Your phone will ding. You'll know we're live. You'll know you're in for some good shit.
We make you dingy.
That was a dumb joke, but look, it's Hockey Jesus. We'll live with it. Now we're moving on to something called What We're Watching, and this is our way of giving back to you. You want to take it away?
Take it away?
You want me to take it away?
I can take it away.
Take it away, Schwaber. It's all yours.
Well, I'm pleased to lead you to good TV and away from bad TV.
Hallelujah.
That is what we're all about here on the Sports Porch. We don't want you to be the person that sits next to your significant other and says, what in the world did you make me watch this for? Right? We give you the tools. We give you the oil. We give you the gasoline to drive the car. And we don't just have you drive any car. We put you in a Lamborghini.
Yeah. What kind of oil are we talking about here?
I don't know.
Depends on the movie.
I thought it was going to be, we give you oil, we give you the toys, and we give you a choice.
We will tell you what is good to watch, what is not good to watch. There's so many choices out there. We're going to make it simple for you. We're going to help you out. And God bless you all.
And yes, the only qualification for whatever it is we're about to do is that you have to have watched or finished the season of the show that you're streaming in order to give a review. Or if it's a documentary or a 1-episode thing or a movie, you got to suffer through the whole thing. So
you like doing the qualification.
Well, that's just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
There are qualifications.
Yeah. You like handing out oil, gasoline, and cars. I mean, I don't know what that.
I never know where it's going to lead.
I don't. I had no idea where that was. That could have gone in many different directions.
Mark, did you review Friends and Neighbors?
No, because you can't, because it's not completed.
It's not over yet.
But I am watching it. Are you guys both watching it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. But we can't say
we can't give a review.
Okay.
Can't even say that. Can't even say that.
I couldn't remember because it's definitely a show that you would be watching.
Yeah. Well, no. See, this is exactly why we do have the rule.
Yeah.
Because all three of us are liking it right now. But what if the ending is ridiculously terrible?
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
I'm only one show in. I'm only one episode in.
Yeah.
So, I might start to hate
it's kind of like the show Palm Royale that was on Apple TV. I thought it was a really good show. And then like near 3/4 of the way through, it took some really weird twists. And I was kind of like, oh, this is stupid.
Yeah, that was me too. And then I stopped watching it.
Yeah, but I watched the whole thing. My wife wanted to watch the whole thing, and so did I. And she thought the same thing. So, okay. The Grand Schwabini currently has finished. Is this season 1 you finished?
Season 1 is in the books.
Okay. Season 1 of my computer's working on it. Season 1 of
Trigger Point.
There it is.
What?
On Peacock.
On the cock.
Peacock.
I don't have the Peacock.
No?
Yeah. I'm going to get it.
Yeah, you got to get it. So Trigger Point. There are, you ever see the movie The Hurt Locker?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that, go and, dismantle the bombs.
They wear those big uniforms.
Yep. They got robots to go in and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, robots.
So this is, looking at a team in London that is, like a counterterrorism team. Mm-hmm. And there is kind of like a serial terrorist on the loose who is targeting many different sites within London. And this lady here, she and her team have the task of trying to figure out who these people are and where they're going to hit next and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of action. There's some pretty good character development in it, even though it's only a sixer. So definitely worth a watch. It's a good, fun 6 episodes of action.
Now, I just have one question about the picture I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
So she diffuses bombs?
Sure does.
Does she wear anything besides the goggles and the helmet? Because I feel like
she's got a whole she got big suits and stuff.
Face is going to be in trouble.
She's got big suits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got the what is that? The astronaut helmet.
Yeah. The other thing too is since it's not actually real,
right?
I don't think her face is in jeopardy.
Okay. All right. Always got to point that out.
Oh man, you mean it's those explosions aren't real?
This stuff is not.
They make it up.
Yeah. Actually, one thing that I didn't realize from watching this movie, it just tell you a little something. It's not going to give anything away, but I didn't realize that often what they do in these scenarios is they create an explosion to diffuse the explosion.
Right.
So that was kind of something new that I was looking at.
They put a cover over it and then blow it up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not exactly cover, but like they're like shoot it with a robot, and it blows up, but it's a contained explosion.
Right.
Like that. Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
All right. The Grand Schwabini recommends Trigger Point on Peacock. Your TD once again practice some unselfish watching. Yes.
This could be scary.
Yes. And I've got a little bit of a different take on this.
The Eternaught.
I started watching it too, by the way.
Hey, when I described it though, it was made for you. Whether you liked it or not, it was made for you.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
It definitely was made for you.
Okay, so a couple of the things that I need to sort out here is last week when you reviewed the show. Now think about this. It was last week. So I blew through this show this week. I was just watching.
It's a lot.
It's in Argentina, so it's in Spanish.
Right.
And if you listen in English, it's dubbed.
Right.
Which I hate. I can't do it.
You got to get yourself over that.
It's like the old Japanese movies where you see the lips move and then you hear the sound.
No, you got to read it.
Dude, I just don't even notice it.
Well, here's what I do. I watched it in Spanish.
Did you? Okay.
With the subtitle.
That's what I do.
Yeah, because what happens is when you're watching it dubbed, they don't have any emotion behind their voice, because it's basically somebody reading a script and trying to put emotion in it. When you're listening to it in the actual language, like it's like they're acting in English. Like you can hear the stress in their voice. Okay. So you get a better sense of the acting. Then the subtitles fills it in.
So you still enjoyed it watching it that way? Or is it just you have to concentrate too much? Like
no.
You can't look at your phone. You got to look at the TV the whole time.
That's true. You do.
Yeah, you do. But no, I liked it. I liked the I liked I don't want to give this away for people.
Yeah,
if you're into the whole, doomsday scenario, something comes out of this seems to be the thing right now. It's like everybody's doing normal life. They're playing Truco in the which is a card game. They're playing a card game in their basement, their weekly card game, a bunch of old men, their old friends. And then the lights go out and then it's like, what's going on? Then they hear cars wrecking and they're kind of like looking outside and they're like, what's going on? And then through a series of events, you start to figure out what's going on. I like all of that. I think it's great. Doomsday scenario. What the hell is going on? And then, of course, it's the whole, this is Argentina. Is it just Argentina? Is it the world? There was a part at which, though, I kind of like lost it. And it was like
midway through.
Yeah. There's just a part where
does it have to do with bugs?
Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah. So what happened is it kind of took on more of that like B movie flair. You know what I'm talking about? Like you watch an A-list movie that's based on zombies, like World War Z, one of my favorite zombie movies. And then, or it's the Argentinian version of World War Z. It's kind of like not as good, but I liked it. So I what I can say is I can neither recommend nor not recommend it because I think you really have to be into the genre.
You have to be into sci-fi.
Right.
If you're not into sci-fi, you won't like it.
Yes. You have to really be into sci-fi.
I think I'm in episode 3 and I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's good. Are you listening? Are you dubbing it or are you?
Oh, no, I can't do the dubbing. I have to read it.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, you have the Spanish language. You're hearing the Spanish.
Yeah. I can't. Because
you can dub it with subtitles too.
I can't.
I think the very end, which we won't reveal.
Yes.
Was the very, very end was like, that was surprising to me.
Yes. I'm looking, let's put it this way. I will be watching season 2.
Yeah, there you go.
I will be watching season 2.
Hey guys, guess what?
What?
Next week, guess what you get for the update?
Oh God, Survivor.
Oh yeah. Grand finale.
That's enough of this shit for me.
3-hour finale.
All right, guys, listen, want to thank you for being here. Want to thank you for watching the Sports Black and Gold edition if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or X. And, of course, if you listen to our podcast, that's awesome. We drop it right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Sports Porch Podcast and subscribe to us at X. It is at Sports Porch #1. And tune in every single Monday night at 7:30 right here for everything you ever wanted. For the Grand Schwabini, for the Hockey Jesus, I'm your technical director. That's our show. We'll see you next Monday. I'm out.
See you next week.
Sell the team.